All right, for this explainer, we're heading over to Japan to check out a really unique space where ancient traditional craft is meeting cutting-edge technology. It's a place that's basically asking, what happens when you smash those two worlds together in the same workshop? It really does sound like a riddle, doesn't it? What actually happens when you put centuries of artisanal skill and knowledge in the same room as a super precise laser cutter or a 3D printer? It's a question that honestly gets right to the heart of what it even means to be a creator in this day and age. So to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to look at what is essentially a tale of two crafts. You know, the collision of something made by hand and something programmed by a computer. It's a story about holding on to the past while building something totally new for the future. And yeah, this isn't just some hypothetical idea. This is really happening. Somewhere in Japan, artists and makers are literally rewriting the rulebook. They're blending techniques that are hundreds of years apart to make things that have never been seen before, totally redefining creation. Okay, so where is this actually happening? Well, the answer takes us to a very specific city in Japan, one that's already famous for its incredibly deep cultural roots. Let's zoom in a bit. And here we are, Beppu, a city in the Oita Prefecture. Now, this region is legendary for its traditional crafts, especially its amazing bamboo work. So it is the absolute perfect backdrop for a story about how art evolves. And right here at this exact spot in Beppu, we find the heart of our story. It's a place called Shared Workspace Synergies. This is where it all goes down. So let's step inside. Synergies runs as a shared atelier, and you really need to get what that means to understand why this place is just so special. So in Japanese, the term is shared atelier or a shared atelier. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a gym membership, but for makers and creators. It's a collaborative space where anybody can come in and rent access to these specialized tools and machines that would just be way too expensive or way too big to own yourself. And really, you just have to look at the toolbox here to get the whole picture. On one side, you've got the high-tech stuff, laser cutters, 3D printers. And then right next to it, all the classic gear, sewing machines, leathercraft tools, all the DIY essentials. It's the fact that they live side by side that makes all these new ideas possible. And the way it works, it's genius in its simplicity. So first, you can just rent the workspace itself. Then you can rent the specific tools you need for whatever you're working on. And this is the real game changer. You can attend workshops. So you don't just get the tools, you get the know-how to use them, whether that's learning a traditional skill or mastering a new digital one. But look, having cool tools is one thing. What really matters is what people are doing with them. So let's check out how these ideas actually become real, tangible things. And trust me, this place is not quiet. It is buzzing. Just take a look at this timeline from late 2024 into early 2025. You've got a PR booth for a bamboo company called Takey launching, and then there's this event called Bamboo Hell. I mean, how cool is that name? That started small at Synergies and then grew into a bigger event at a park. This isn't just a workshop, it's a real community hub. Techo Bamboo Dominoes. I mean, come on. This quote comes from a community project they did. Can you just imagine that? Building a huge set of dominoes out of local bamboo. It's so playful, so collaborative, and just so perfectly connected to the region's history. And this is where it all comes together. The quote translates to engraved on the hinges. So somebody was making a sign, a pretty standard thing, but they used a laser cutter to add a precise custom engraving right onto the metal hinges. It's such a tiny detail, but it says everything about how modern tech can add this whole new layer of personality and precision to something totally traditional. So when you put all of this together, the tools, the people, the wild projects, you get what I'm calling the Synergies effect. It's this powerful outcome you get only when you bring all these different worlds into one single space. You know, the name Synergies couldn't be more perfect, could it? It's not about any one thing. It's about how everything works together. It's about modern tools making traditional crafts even better. It's about new ideas sparking from old techniques. It's about people coming together to create. And it's about time itself, where the past and the future of making things meet in one room. And that right there is the big takeaway. This place, Shared Workspace Synergies, it's not just some cool workshop in a city in Japan. It's a blueprint. It's an inspiring model for what the future of creativity could look like everywhere. A future that respects where we came from, but fully embraces where we're going. Which kind of leaves us with this one big, exciting question to chew on, right? As tools and communities like this become more and more common, how will the next generation of creators, the artists, the designers, the makers, continue to redefine tradition? It really feels like the answer is being built as we speak. Thanks for watching.